Hello and welcome to Lesson 16. Today we're going to talk about transposing music. This is a good skill to have. You might need to transpose music to another key so that it fits someone's voice better, or for your own singing, and sometimes other instruments are playing in a different key and you might want to play along with them. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. First of all, I wanted to have your general keys up here that we're going to be using. The key of C major, which goes from C to C with no sharps, no flats. And then the key of G major, which starts on a G as the first degree and goes up to a G and has an F sharp. Then the key of D major, which starts on a D, goes to a D, has an F sharp and a C sharp. And then the key of F, which has one flat, which is B flat, starts on an F and goes all the way up to the octave F. Now we're going to use a simple song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and we're going to transpose that into all four of those keys. And by the time we get finished with this song and another song, then you should have a pretty good idea of how to transpose music on your own. Okay, let's look at Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Here we have it in the key of C. And it's just, we're just going to play this much of it, because that's all you need to get the idea of what to do. Okay, as we see, it starts on the first degree in the key of C. It starts right on C. So that is the very important note right there. You need to take the note that it starts on and use that same note in another key. Use that same degree in another key. So if we're changing it to the key of G, we're going to start on the first degree in the key of G, which is G. That is the first degree. So it's going to start on the first degree. The second note is the fifth in the key of C. When you go twinkle, twinkle. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the fifth note in that scale. So, the fifth note in the key of G, we already determined we're going to start on G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So we've got it, and that's all you do. You just continue the same amount of distance. In other words, you start the song on a G and just play it the same way that you did in the key of C. The only thing you have to remember is you have to have F sharps up in the key of G. So, put your F sharps up, and then you're ready to play that song in the key of G. And that's all there is to it. Now, we've got it in the key of G. Now we're going to put it into the key of D major. Okay, remember it starts on the first degree. It starts on the first note in the key of G, so it's going to start on the first note in the key of D major also. And that first degree in the key of D major is D. So you're going to start it on D, and then you're going to proceed to the fifth, the same order that you did the rest of these in. Now you also have to put it in the key of D major, so you're going to raise your C's also, because D major has an F sharp and a C sharp. So let's start it there and go ahead and play it in the key of D major. Okay, you've got it in the key of D. One more switch we're going to make, and that is to the key of F major. F major, the first note in the key of F major, the first degree is F. So it's going to start on F. Now, F has no sharps, and it has a B flat, so you have to put your B's down. My harp sickle is tuned to the key, it's tuned in E flat. And if you'll recall, in a lesson past, we talked about tuning your harp to E flat so that you can play in up to 4 sharps and up to 3 flats. If you need to review that lesson, you can go back and look it up on your little lesson synopsis and review that. We're going to put our B flats down. We'll be in the key of F, and we're going to start it on the first degree, go to the fifth, proceed in the the same manner throughout the song that we did before. And there you go. You've played Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star in 4 different keys. And you can do the same thing in any key that you want to. Any accidentals also need to be changed to fit the new key. So remember that you need to change your accidentals also to fit the new key. We're going to go on and we're going to try another song now. Our next song we're going to work with transposing is Jingle Bells. And it is in the key of C, and it starts on the 5th degree of the key of C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where it starts, the verse part. So we're going to play this together, and we're just going to play the melody line. It does have the chords above, so if you want to put the chords in, you can play those chords in root position with your left hand. And this always works with your left hand because you don't have to worry about keeping the melody line on top. So if you want to put the chords in, that's fine. If you need to take time to practice it, go ahead and practice it, and then we'll come back and play it together. I'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, very good. Now we're going to transpose this song to another key. Now we're going to transpose Jingle Bells into the key of G. Okay, it started up here, as you remember, on the 5th of C. Now, if you go up 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's way up here. So that's a little bit high for most people to sing, especially if you're transposing to a vocal key. Okay, so you know it's going to start on a D, so you can transpose up to that D, or you can transpose down 4 to this D. Okay, because you have a choice. G is 5 notes up from C, or it's 4 notes down from C, the key of C. So you can start on the D down there or the D up here. I chose the lower D because if you're going to be singing, nobody can sing up that high unless they have a really high soprano voice. Okay, so here we go. It's transposed. What you do is the same thing we did on Twinkle, Twinkle. You can probably pick it out by ear, or you can go through and figure out, okay, 4 down from that one is D, 4 down from this one is B, 4 down from that one is A, 4 down from this one is D, and so on. You can go through and pick out each note and just go the same distance down when you're transposing, because it goes degree by degree exactly the same in the different key. So it's going to be the same music, just transposed up or down to the different key. Okay, let's try this one together. If you want to go over it a couple times, don't forget to raise your F's for the key of G, and then we'll play it together. I'm going to give us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, play, and we're starting on D right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, play. transpose Jingle Bells up to the high D. So I told you could pick between this D or that D. So I wanted to show you how it would look up here on the high D. Same thing. It depends on what you're transposing it for, what your purpose is. If you want a nice high tinkly sound, you might want to use that high D. Or you might want to just leave it in C and raise the whole thing up an octave. You have lots of choices when you're playing the harp, and it's relatively easy to transpose the music. Once you get that first note, where it's going to be, you can almost play it by ear and sound it out as you go. And when you get the chords figured out, then you're set. We're going to transpose this song into the key of D now. D is 2 sharps, so you have to have your F and your C sharp set. Okay? You have the 5th of the key of C here, which is G, and you have the 5th of the key of D, which is A. Another way you can do this, you have the key of C here, and this starts on a G. The key of D is generally 1 note up farther than the key of C. When you look at it, here's C, here's D, right there. So if you want to, you can think, okay, each note is going to be up 1 note higher than this. So when you're playing it, okay, 1 note higher than G is A, 1 note higher than E is F, 1 note higher than D is E, 1 note higher than C is D, and then you just do it like that. And it should come out the same. Otherwise, you can just play it by ear, pick it out. If you don't know the song, then you need to figure it out or do the 1 note higher. You can also do that in other keys. You can figure the key of F is going to be 4 notes higher than the key of C. So every note would be 4 notes higher. So that's kind of an easy way to do it too. Then you don't have to write each note down. You can just kind of figure it out as you go. Some people can just transpose music in their head and play it. The other way you can do that is transpose the chords in your head and then figure out the music from there. Okay? All your chords are going to be 1 note higher. So if you have a C chord here, it's going to be a D. If you have an F chord there, it's going to be a G. If you have a D there, it's going to be an E, and so on. So all the chords would be 1 note higher also in the key of D. Okay, let's go ahead and play this in the key of D. Make sure you have your 2 sharps up, and we'll go with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Remember, you can also play it down an octave, so you could play it down here. Of course, if you're playing a harpsichord, that doesn't leave much room for chords. So if you want to play chords, your better option would be to play it up on the higher D. Very good. Now we're going to transpose the same song to the key of F. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of our sharps up here. We have C and F sharps. And put down our B flats, because F major has a B flat. Now, as I had told you before, this starts on the 5th, so we're going to start this on the 5th. Now, the 5th would be C, so I have chosen to do this down on the lower C. So you can either say, okay, this starts on the 5th, and the 5th is going to be a C. So if you want to do the figure out how far each note is from the other note method, you can say that's a G, so we're going to go down 5 on each note to get to that lower C. So you're going to go G is down a 5th, E, A is down a fifth, D to G is down a fifth, C to F is down a fifth. And you can just figure each note down 5. The same thing with your chords. C, you're going to go down to F. F is 5 down. Okay, and if you have a D, that's going to go all the way down to G. An F is going to go down to a B, B flat chord, because you do have a B flat in there. So this is the key of F. Now, the reason I put it down on the lower C was because the high one is going to be, I mean, you can do it up there, but it's just a little bit high. So we put it down on the lower C. Now, if you want to figure it out by that method, then you can figure out your 5 degrees just like we did on the other ones. Let's play this one together, and then this will complete our transposing lesson. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Excellent. I thought maybe we'd go back to the key of C now. That seems to be everybody's most familiar key. And play this song together, putting all the chords in there and ad-libbing even if you want to. You can even put some arpeggios in there. So you go ahead and spruce that song all up, put all the kind of chords in there you want, put all the arpeggios you want, and then you practice that, and we'll come back and we'll play it together. Okay, we're going to play Jingle Bells together now in the key of C, so make sure you have all your levers put back in the right positions for the key of C. And now what I want you to do is ad-lib, as long as you keep the tempo right and play the chords that are supposed to be played in that measure, then any other notes you play should fit in nicely. I'm going to ad-lib also, and it should fit together like a duet. I'm going to give us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, play. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, play. Very good. That was great fun, wasn't it? Now we're going to try that song again, and we're going to play a different variety. So if you want to practice and get a different thing going on with your music, then we'll play the song together again and play it differently this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Very good. Did you enjoy playing our duet? I hope so. If you did, you'll want to check out the play-along songs. They're fun and easy to play, and there are 2 selections. You can play just the melody line if you're just beginning, or there's the melody line with the chord, so you can add the chords and ad-lib all you want to. And I'll be playing an accompaniment that you can follow, similar to what we did on Jingle Bells. So go ahead and check them out. And I'm so glad you could join us today.